And there we have it. Welcome to the Baxter Effect Podcast. Your host, John Baxter, and today, another exciting talk about MedBeds and how we built it. We didn't just talk about it. So we have an exciting episode. If you want to learn more of how we created and invented the first MedBed, you can check out my latest podcast, the MedBed Timeline, where we cover where and when this came and how it came to be with facts, documents, books, awards, and so forth. And today is another day, and we're going to talk about how this healthcare, that is the future of healthcare, and how we built it. And let me say this very, very clearly. The future of health didn't start on the internet. It didn't come from rumors. It didn't come from theories. We built this. We built the first MedBed, and most people are just catching up. Most people, didn't realize this didn't start just as a company, because it didn't start as a company, MedBed. It started as a problem. It started with my own real personal injury and this body that it started with. I was my own science fair experiment for decades, and a body that didn't respond to the way that it should, because I tried everything. I tried everything in conventional, and you heard me say that this is the common theory among a lot of people. I tried everything until I found you. And when that happens, the way it happened, that the current system wasn't working for me, you stop guessing. I stopped the guesswork because I guessed so much of why the current system wasn't working. And then I had to start figuring out really what this body was, and I had to start building systems. I had an amazing start point with many different doctors as friends, a lot of understanding from famous healthcare practitioners, and many doctors did help. But the system that we have in place wasn't the system that I utilized to create the MedBed system. I created the MedBed system in regards to truth, and that truth took a long time to exercise, break apart the pros and cons to see exactly what was going on. And so you start building the system, and that's where my skill set is so much different than the average person. My passion, my ability to utilize what is in front of me at my best advantage. No one gave me $1 billion to create a MedBed, but over $1 billion in value was created to build it. And so here's what most people just don't understand. The body doesn't heal because you force it, and that's the misunderstanding of today. It heals when the conditions are right or perfect or near perfect. You change the environment, and you change everything. And that perceived understanding, that's what changed everything. And when you look at it, we didn't build a per se product like you see, or a supplement. We built the environment to harness the MedBed. A system designed to support, of course, the forces of nature. And that's what this body aligns with most. Increased oxygen, increased circulation, a nervous system that's set into balance. The ability to recovery from when you're sleeping. Cellular signaling versus cellular symptoms. And it's all working together as a symphony. This body is one, and it acts as an instrument that plays in a perfect tune, versus this body is acting like a car, and the muffler's not working per se, or the engine's breaking, which would be our heart. This is how we got here. The body doesn't operate in parts like we were told. The body operates as a complete system. Most of the world is still focused on symptoms, treatments, reaction, and we moved a far different direction towards optimization, environment, and recovery, and even with mental health integration. That's the gap, folks. So, spelled it out pretty clear and concise there. That's the gap in understanding between a MedBed, which is the future of healthcare, and the system of sick care. And that system of sick care is designed to not get you better because more money is made by prolonging it. Our system is based on data, truth. Data doesn't lie. Data allows us to measure, monitor, and manage something that the current system has a very difficult time doing. So this didn't stay hidden within me. We made it become visible. And now everyone copies us. And patents were issued in 2013. Recognition followed. We got coverage with Bloomberg as the world's greatest health technology. Apple News is the top 10 entrepreneur of the 2025. Multiple mentions in New York Times, along with Inside Edition, documentary features with many famous types of individuals like Dennis Quaid. Visibility on Times Square. And this wasn't just because of hype. It was because of what was built. This wasn't a theory of MedBeds in the sky and aliens and deep state military. This is a patented system. Years and years, decades of development. Real world application. And when you win, specifically at this high level, people start paying attention. And so, yes, we have people trying to duplicate and copy us every day. We're so far ahead, they still don't understand. We have people trying to suggest that their product is in what we created in our category, MedBed. Yet they weren't in this category until they saw that we created it. And so you see this out there. And so the internet, once it got involved, as you know, who can tell the truth, who can tell a pro and a con. Last I checked, the internet was just full of information, whether it was good, bad, real, or fake. The internet got involved. And that really dampened and changed everything. Until more recently. But for many years, the real story of MedBeds got mixed up with speculation. It got mixed up with frauds. It got mixed up with scammers. It got mixed up with third world countries. It got mixed up with, per se, people talking about the military, but it never got mixed up with the military, if you know what I mean. And suddenly, truth and noise looked the same. Everyone thought, MedBeds are going to come out because, they're going to be free. It's not true. That was a fraudster who was trying to get money for registrations. And so you see, when things get on the internet, it's hard to decipher fact from fiction. But while people were talking, I wasn't focused on it. It's partly my problem because I was too focused on helping everyday people. I didn't own a media company. I didn't control the narrative on the media. What I was focused on was helping everyday people with chronic disease. I was focused on helping people that were suffering. We were building and building. Now we're close to 100 technologies. But the people talking haven't created anything. The Ayn Rand book, she'll tell you the quote. The world is controlled by people who create nothing, but need to be a part of making the decisions to control everything. And I'm not sure if that sounds like a free market society. It sounds a little bit between socialism and communism. That is how the media honestly reacts. And while people were guessing of what a MedBed was or who it came from or where it was, we were refining We were understanding. We were helping. In fact, we've given over $5 million in free MedBed services. The media took that as MedBeds are for free. Military MedBeds are for free. It was because of us. If you heard about a product called a grounding, the recondition, the refining of grounding technology is because of us. While people were debating what was the truth, we were deploying real technology and helping people. And so, yes, I come pretty strong today about my convictions on this, because all I've done is create a product and a whole system of healthcare, and all I hear is confusion. I hear a lot of confusion out there by people who created nothing. So the MedBed is not magic. It wasn't just an instant it was created. The MedBed is here because of decades of research and technology and data, and a passion to get people well as fast as possible. And this technology stems from frequency medicine. And frequency medicine had the same tenure. Frequency medicine was destroyed by mainstream media in the 1930s. And for the last 100 years, they call it weeds, beads, and seeds, and scalar and pseudoscience. Most of the technology you see nowadays in frequency is pseudoscience and scalar technology, which means you could never prove it, and it never would have the efficacy it does today. I made it my passion and my motive over 5 years ago to only offer proven, measurable technologies in the entire system so that no one could discredit me. I've proved skeptics wrong time and time again, and over 25,000 customers later, and tens of thousands of testimonials, and lots of word of mouth, we can see that the paradigm shift is among us now. The paradigm shift is now. People are waking up. People are waking up from their deep, deep coma. Call it sleep. I call it coma. They're listening to people and regurgitating fiction as facts. The aliens are dropping MedBeds. The deep state military are dropping MedBeds. Without cited sources, without information, without real photos. And so, not only have I had to deal with this, I've had to deal with scammers, internet scammers, fakers, all to slow down what was created and what was started with amazing intentions to help people, including myself, and this was something created for something much bigger than these perceived fraudsters. This is something much bigger, something much more serious, helping people with their health issue. So as governments around the world talk about helping their citizens, we've already done it. We've already done it with honeybees. Did you know that none of the countries are doing very much or anything about saving bees? We were the company in the limelight and at the forefront, helping people understand why the bees were collapsing and the fake, false narrative that the media talked about to cover up the chemicals that were in our GMO foods. So as I speak to you today, the recognition of MedBed, I just want to keep it clear, concise, and straightforward. We started this a long time ago, and this was a passion with a purpose and a mission. And this mission is to create a new form of healthcare built upon data. We don't just talk about it, we do it. We built it. We created the system. We created the first system of healthcare, including AI, that just uses data and frequency as its main sources of its own mechanism of action. So there we have it, folks. This was a short, straight, concise podcast today about what the MedBed is, where it came from, where it's going, and what you need to know. Because there's a lot of people out there confused. Think about it. Who's confused when the media or internet gets involved? Everyone. So the reality is you're getting it from the horse's mouth. You're getting it straight from the person that created and pioneered the first MedBed in existence, with not only patents and proof and awards and testimonials from real people. So if you're getting your source of information anywhere else on MedBeds, be very leery. There's no alien coming to save you. There's no military. The military right now is fighting other countries. There's no one world military out to save you. So the reality is today, I would all hope that you like, share, and comment this podcast. The important message here today is to get the truth out. Because the truth shall set you free. And when people hear the truth, they hear my voice, they hear my conviction, they see what we've done, they see a lot of the other stuff that we've offered. You will be better well educated and better well informed about what we do, how we do it, and how you can join, how you can be a part, how you can help grow our whole elaborate system here, because we are looking for partners. We are looking for people that want this, because I believe as humans, as citizens, as children of God, that this is the ultimate path. The most rewarding path is the path where not only do you heal and help heal yourself, but you help your community, your family, your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, in your country, and other countries around the world. You'll never hear a message like this because, quite frankly, they don't have the technology to obtain this level of understanding that we have achieved here at Anti-Aging Bed. Our sponsor, antiagingbed.com, has all this technology. Click on the link, go to antiagingbed.com. If you want to get more information, type in catalog in the comments below. We'll send you our catalog of all of our information, of all of our products. And if you want to learn more, type in affiliate. If you want to start being an advocate for a product, if you are a wellness center, write distributor in the comments below, and someone will get back to you immediately. So thank you once again for joining the Baxter Effect Podcast. Your host, John Baxter. And until next time, thank you guys so much, and we look forward to you guys joining this amazing movement.